Hey guys, this is Fiji Punk. Before I discovered Vanguard, I was an avid fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I thought it would be fun to imagine a crossover where the protagonist of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime will play Vanguard, more specifically, the standard format of Vanguard. I will try to pair a Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist with a certain deck that will fit them aesthetically or mechanically. Of course, this is all for fun and game, so if you have other ideas, please drop them in the comments below. With that being said, let's get into it.
It's time to
stand up!
The first on the list is Jaden from the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime. I'm sure there will be no argument when I say that Jaden will most likely be using the hero archetype from the Nova Grappler clan. It fit him aesthetically and there isn't really a better choice. I forgot to mention that I'll be ranking these from the most obvious to the least. Since Jaden was the first one on the list, he's the most obvious one. The next Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist we have is Yuya from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 anime. Of course, he used the Performer POW in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, so it's obvious that his Vanguard deck will be Pale Moon. However, Yuya will probably use the generic support of Pale Moon instead of Silverthorn. My reasoning for it is because the Performer POW are very colorful troops, and Silverthorn tend to be more darker in color scheme, with the color black being a very common factor. You can also say that the Pale Moon mechanic where unit appear from the soul is very similar to pendulum summoning, especially when there's more than one unit appear at the time. Next on the list is the seemingly least favorite Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist, Yuma from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexo anime. For this guy, it's kinda difficult to place him since his deck is composed of different monsters that doesn't follow a common aesthetic. However, they do support the same mechanic, which is the Exceed summoning. And personally, I view the material on Exceed monster the same as the soul in Vanguard. So what other clan is better for him than the Dark Irregular? Different powerful units such as Dentarian, No Life King, and Brufus can utilize the soul to do powerful skills, which is very similar to the way Exceed monster use their Exceed material to do powerful effect in order to win the game. Next up on the list is the protagonist from the newest Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, Yusaku. I paired him up with Riser from the Nova Grappler. The cyber card that he used is very similar to the robots in Nova Grappler. Code Talker have very similar aesthetic to the Riser. Now we are down to the last three protagonists, and this is where I'm a little more iffy about. Number 5 on the list is Yugi Muto from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. For him, I've chosen the Royal Paladin clan, but more specifically the upcoming Majesty Lore Blaster deck. The reason for this is that I remember him using very dark and light chaos themed deck, which is very similar to the Majesty Lore Blaster deck where they use Blaster Dark and Blaster Blade. The other option that he have is the Phantom Blaster Dragon / Gust Blaster Dragon deck from Shadow Paladin. This was my other choice because I vividly remember him using Grandora Dragon in the original anime. Now that we finished talking about small Yugi, we have to talk about his more charismatic form, Atem. His deck is very difficult to pinpoint since he used a lot of one-of, and there isn't a coherent mechanic. However, his most iconic monster is Dark Magician, but the only magician we have are from Pale Moon, which doesn't fit him aesthetically, so I've chosen Luard from Shadow Paladin. Luard's dark clothing and his pointy hat really remind me of Dark Magician, and Luard also have a female counterpart in Drag Wizard Morfesta, like how Dark Magician have Dark Magician Girl. And finally, the last protagonist that we will be talking about today is arguably the favorite of the bunch, is Yusei from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D. Now he is the most difficult because his deck follow a mechanical theme, but not all of his monster is robot based. His most iconic monster is Stardust Dragon, which look very similar to Soul Saver Dragon, but that's the only similarity he has to Royal Paladin. The standard format doesn't have a mechanic similar to Synchro Summoning, so it's also difficult to give him a deck from that point of view. However, Synchro Summoning is basically smaller monster coming together to bring out a big monster. So it's like non-Grade 3 units coming together to support the Grade 3 Vanguard, and no other clan do that better than Dimension Police. It's like the smaller unit supporting the Grade 3 leader on the battlefield from Headquarters. Alright guys, that's all I have for you guys today. This list is made to be a fun crossover. If you have a deck that you think fit any of the Yu-Gi-Oh protagonists better, please drop it on the comments below. While you're there, you can also tell me what other anime you want me to do a crossover like this with. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time.